I'm fucking cozy. I could sleep right here in this chair.
I swear to God, you're always tired, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you sleep. I am envious of your sleep patterns, bro. Me and Cole were talking about that, bro. We were like, Cole was saying to me, he was like, man, I just be seeing Jake sleep out there some days. I'm just like, man, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could just.
Really?
And like I was telling you today, like, I just can't sleep in, which sucks because I wish I used to fucking be able to do that, like in high school, you know? I used to sleep till fucking noon.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. Noon, 1 p.m. And I wouldn't even be up that late. I'd be up till like midnight, but I just kind of lay in bed, half awake, half asleep. It'd be like 10 in the morning, and I just decided that I had nothing going on, you know?
Yeah.
So I used to be able to do that shit, but now it's like Luna wakes me up fucking 6:30, usually when Cole's getting up for work. She hops in my bed, and she's like, hey, Paul, what you doing? You up yet?
Yeah.
And then, of course, like...
So here's the thing.
I'm not a heavy sleeper. Like, I mean, I can sleep pretty heavily, but
I sleep pretty
nothing
heavy.
like crazy. Yeah, you sleep heavy, bro.
I sleep heavy. Well, the thing is, like, when something wakes you up in the morning, you probably feel like alert.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's like once something jolts me, it's usually like that where it's unexpected. And it's shit like, God damn it, like I wasn't expecting to get up right now, but I did. And that's usually when the cat is like, you know, but that's just how cats are.
Yeah.
They're wanting to know what the fuck you're doing.
The more I think about it is like, see, that doesn't happen for me. When I hear a noise in the night or the morning or whatever, doesn't matter what time it is. When I hear a noise, it's like, I don't get, for some reason it wakes me up. I'm conscious enough to make decisions, but I'm not there. Like, I'm asleep still.
Right.
So like I could wake up, have a conversation, like a quick little like da conversation, and it would be like my body does that, you know, and it just like I'm
say
sleeping,
nope. You just say nope.
Well, I'm just sleeping through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I kind of
I find like the different like people. It's interesting to me like. Because everybody sleeps differently. Nobody just really thinks about that, you know? Like, I actually think I have some, like, I've noticed, like, I've started to, like, grind in my teeth from, like, anxiety, like, grind in my sleep, sorry.
Yeah.
Grind my teeth, you know? And a lot of people have that problem with, like, anxiety and stress and shit like that. And sometimes it's not often, but it's on a rare occasion. It never used to happen, but now it's starting to, like, you know, happen here and there, kind of not frequently, but here and there. But yeah, I just find that the different sleep patterns kind of funny. It's interesting to see like the different patterns that people have. But this fucking room is a lot different than what it used to be.
There's a lot less stuff in it.
A lot less stuff and a different light. Man, this was the move with the lighting, I think. Like something with the soft light, because like the overhead light is really like
it's too killer. It's
I always had that problem.
That's not necessarily prison lighting,
right?
With just like
it's good, like
the
it's
white bar, like the white bar lights.
Oh my god!
Torturously day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it was still
just
less
overhead
than that,
lights.
And it was too much.
It's pretty much I was just working with what I had, but with this extra space. I mean, we moved. For people that are just listening or people that are watching this, you can't see anything around us. We basically moved a ton of shit today, and this is probably gonna be the last time that you see. I guess this background at least.
Well, this
setup, right? Because
we're here. I'll have a bed right here.
Right.
Where we'll be sleeping here.
Breaking news: JT's moving.
I'm moving in, yeah.
Roommates, let's go.
Whoa.
Lit. Dude, I'm so excited, bro. Seriously, dude. Like, these past whole couple months, man, like, it's been the number one thing I've been looking forward to.
I'm
like,
stoked, too.
It's been awesome. And today, I think, really solidified, like, a lot of shit. Just, like, getting everything, like, kind of done. And ready to like get going, and I think moving everything, opening up this space for you.
Hey, Luna just popped in. We should show.
Oh,
we should show Luna. Let me go show Luna quick.
Yeah, you want to watch the headphones? Whoa, watch the headphone cord. Watch the headphone cord. No.
What up, Lunas?
Check that shit out.
Luna, vibing with the new lamp.
Yeah, that's our rickety dickety lamp set up there. Kind of bumming it, but had to go with the soft lighting. Here, I can check that shit and set it up if you wanna.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
See, these headphone cables are extremely long. They're 15 feet long, which I bought that on purpose for reasons of if we ever need to expand the set.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
I'm just gonna double check on that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's definite. I guarantee. Watch, guys. He's.
I just have to, you know.
As if my framing wouldn't be on. Come on.
You know I'm what is it?
Perfectionist.
Perfectionist.
Yeah, but come on, my framing is gonna be on.
All right, I'm not gonna touch it. Ooh, you missed the.
Missed what?
See the cutoff, bro.
What? The cut? What? The cutoff?
All right, I'll explain. For everyone listening, you just saw what I did, but I'll explain.
I didn't.
This is a critical
move. I saw him
move.
shift it like a smidge to the right.
Yeah. So, and this is.
You just bumped it over.
This is not on Jay because it's the first time setting up a frame, so I can't blame the new.
Never
I'm just
set.
kidding.
Technically, yeah, I've never set a frame on
the pod.
On the pod, not once.
But I just checked it over, so like there was like a little white showing, like this was showing. I like keep it so like basically this whole background.
Oh,
is like,
I had a little bit of the white showing.
Yeah,
to frame it. Yeah,
right. So I basically just moved it over like a half inch to cut the background.
Yeah, we're in the so back to we shifted everything around.
Mm-hmm.
The whole house is different.
We shifted everything around, man. We spent
living room, office.
Pretty much. Yeah. Me and Jake just spent 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much basically since I got off work at 4:30 until 10 p.m. redesigning
the house.
Switching stuff around, and guys, I would recommend if you're feeling like you're cooped up in your apartment, in your house, even just anything. I mean, I swear to God, and my parents didn't like redesign stuff too much in my house when we did. I wish we did more often because I feel like you should more often. I feel like at least like once, twice a year.
Yeah. I had definitely a different upbringing. I feel like, and where. We were always doing something, always always redesigning some aspect of whatever property we lived on. Like from the minute, I mean, even the house that I remember growing up in as a child, like we built
You built it up.
We built it like they designed
from scratch.
Yeah, like they did. Like my
hired
parents,
an architect.
Yeah, like my dad, like designed it with a guy, and they built it.
That's one of my dreams, bro.
And like. It was a good investment, nonetheless, too. Like,
right.
Like it built at that time. It was cheap to build, and end up walking away with 4 times what you have in it to build.
Exactly.
After 9 years,
a beautiful home,
growing a family, and then you move and yada yada yada. But like all the time, we were like always building something, changing something, adding something, like renovating something. It was just a constant
like you've been doing for the past few months. It's in your blood, basically. I mean, like
I don't know. It's something that like
you've been doing it. Since
I think
you're
unintentionally was passed down from my dad.
I can tell.
Like it's just I think there's just this like tendency to look at a situation and be like, you know what? It's actually probably more feasible and logically easy to achieve the result I'm looking for on my own than having to like hire someone else to do it. If I just apply like my common sense into a problem and like think logically about certain things, it just seems like there's a lot of things that you can do in construction and building something. Like you have a problem, you can usually solve it pretty easily on your own if you just kind of pick it apart piece by piece and figure out like, well, I don't know how to solve this issue, but I could start by looking at this, and then next thing you know, you understand, and you just got to try how to do these things.
Exactly.
And that's something that like I feel like I've learned from, like my dad. That like
that's what I was gonna touch on too.
That like I've always been felt. I feel like I've always been dealt a hand of that situation where it's like, how are we going to fix this? How are we going to, that makes you really critically think about like everything. And it's just, I feel like that's a healthy application of the human mind, it's peaceful. I feel like it's self-rewarding and peaceful to just explore like what you're capable of.
100%. And yeah, and what I've really witnessed too, and what I can see in kind of the work you've done renovating your own house, your family's house these past few months, I mean, it's quite obvious. It's such a natural ability for you, and that, your family's traditions in those aspects of, your father passing down those desires to create something for his family and allow for a growing experience. I can relate to that in myself, in my own experiences as well with my own father, and in terms of what he passed on to me. I mean, it was kind of along the same stuff. Like, we always kind of played like construction stuff. We built forts, like out in the yard, like just play forts when I was a young kid and stuff. Like, you have your toy hammers and your toy like screwdrivers, your toy screws. You're not doing much, but like you're helping your dad. You're playing along, and construction has always been kind of that primal, like father-son bonding experience where
there's something about it.
It's an easy transition, or it's an easy pass down of knowledge. It's a very
commonly
it's almost like a language that's
it's like if you really put some time into it, it's hard to be a human that doesn't grasp the concept of it. It's so natural to us, all of us. It's
I think for fathers and sons specifically,
but also just anybody, you're able to just to have that. Like it is a language. It's so easy.
It's a physical language,
and like intuitive. I don't know, something about it that I feel like humans are able to grasp the concepts of how like basic, basic geometry and math can like
I don't know though. It is difficult though. It is difficult for a lot of people though. Like, you have to understand that if you were to ask someone to build a shoe shelf out of, a few planks,
anything, you can do anything.
Well, some people would find that incredibly hard. I know. I would probably have to look on Google.
Well, which is no problem. That's
right. But for a person like you can do that stuff in your head, which is kind of like the difference that I'm trying to like.
Right. But the only way I ever got to that point was by
doing it.
But also like using the resources I had to learn. And one of the biggest, and I'm not trying to like advocate for YouTube or anything, but YouTube is like, it's one of the best tools anyone could ask for learning how to do anything. Like, if you have a problem in your life that has a logical reason behind the solving of that problem, like, how do I fix a light bulb in my car? Well, okay, you could look up how to fix a light bulb in my car, or you could look up how to fix my light bulb in my Honda Civic 2017 EX Coupe. And
I did that a few months ago.
More than one person will have a video of that, which means that enough people have ran into that issue that they wanted to solve it. They figured out how to solve it cheap, easy. And then on top of that, a certain percentage of that people decided that they were going to take the initiative to make a YouTube video to share that with other people. And all you have to do is stumble across that problem, look it up on YouTube, and understand that, like, it's a common problem. It's something that happens to so many people that there aren't, I would say 98% of the time, if I'm looking up something that I don't understand, if I look it up on YouTube, there's usually a video, and that's amazing.
Oh, 100%. And it's a growing collective knowledge. That's what it is. It's an ease of access of information. It's a growing collective knowledge, and that's the damn reason for this shit. I mean, that is the reason for what we're trying to do here. Exactly.
That saves so much time. Like, for everyone involved. I mean, I've solved my problem faster. I can move on with my life and make further decisions faster based on just the realization that I'm able to do that. And like obviously you have to check your source and resource and make sure that like the information you are receiving is credible. But for most simple tasks that like you have a problem with, like, okay, I don't know, okay, maybe I am trying to put door casing on like a door, you know, trim around a door. Like, you run your trim board, you know how to run trim board, you know how to cut 45s on your quarter rounds and your base plates. No big deal. You got to put a casing on a door and make sure that it's level. Like, it's not hard to do. There's a few tricks that make it super easy, and if someone just knew that, it would make their life so much easier and faster, and they'd get that thing done so much better.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. That's the beautiful thing
we can
about
share that.
Being able to share, and
that knowledge is instant.
We have to encourage it. I think now
to figure out.
It's incredibly important that we encourage sharing and collaboration.
Definitely.
We have to encourage respectful collaboration.
That's what makes us great.
You know, criticism. We need to have respectful criticism. When we need to have real, heartfelt, fucking conversations with people. Like what I've been. You know, shit like this is just like, it's something I crave, you know, being able to sit down and talk about just like this type of shit, this real shit, construction, passion, tradition.
I had a professor once time tell me, you know what makes humans different than any other species or living being on the planet? I'll ask you this question and just kind of come up with an answer, because it's kind of an open-ended. It's an open-ended answer.
What makes human beings different from any other species?
What's the most important thing? It's kind of like an opinion. It's an opinion question. What do you think is the most important thing that makes humans different from any other living being in the universe, or at least to our knowledge?
Good question.
What do you think?
Deep question.
I'll share.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think that this might be the most important, if not one of the most important aspects about being a human being, in my opinion.
What is that?
I believe that the ability to perceive another human being's perspective and experiences through communicating with them and through storytelling, I believe that is one of the most important aspects about being a human being. Being able to, you know, quote unquote, put yourself in another person's shoes. I think just the concept of that and the value and power of that tool in the brain. I mean, it's unbelievable when you think about it. I mean, what species does that?
So, okay.
Right?
We've never had this conversation before, right?
Never. You've never asked me that question.
I've never asked you that question, which is what makes this even crazier, is that
Is that what he said? Or something like that?
In short, basically, it was that, yes. I mean, storytelling. Being able to share, to tell stories to each other and have a shared consciousness and understanding of the stories we tell each other is what separates us from any other living form. And it's like
100%, dude. It's like, fucking insane.
Like, there's a beauty in storytelling and being able to communicate with one another that is like so overlooked. And that.
Well, and you think about what it's like to be a fish.
So special. Right?
You think about what it's like to be a fish or a dog or a turtle. Or turtle or anything else, right? Anything else on this planet. You think about what it is to be any other animal. Maybe disclude, like, you know, monkeys, because that's debatable.
And at that, even at that, it's like,
but
that you could maybe
that's another. I guess that's another rabbit hole, isn't it?
Communication, but like,
do they
perceive?
Understanding
and memory of.
Right. There's nothing on this planet that has that capability at the level that we do, and then it's unbelievable.
And then able to interpret that information, create new ideas on it, and share that again as another story. Like, there's so much complexity in that
I mean, people cry when they see beautiful pieces of art.
Like, there's this very, very, very large part of us that is, like, unexplainable in that regard, in my opinion.
Absolutely. That's absolutely crazy that fucking... My answer was relatively kind of along the lines.
It was basically the same thing. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
which I'm surprised because I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
and that's.
I think when you boil it all down, I think that's what's really fucking important. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, when you look around at what the fuck is going on right now in the world, people aren't doing that. You know, I guess, I mean, I shouldn't, I'm grossly generalizing here. Mm-hmm. You know.
Good to recognize
obviously, like, I'm just, the media and politics and everything makes it really bad, but it's probably a lot better than we think it is. But I think we can always improve.
I think
we can always improve on being able to, like, recognize other people's, like, traumas and experiences and shit like that. It's fucking hard, but, like, we need to... I struggle with it. We all struggle with it. We're all fucking selfish, you know?
I optimistically, like, view, like, the path of humanity. Mm-hmm. And I see that there is a youth of employment in big news channels, outlets of journalists, female, male journalists, that are coming at it from a little bit more of a moderate perspective, like we are.
Yeah, dude. Independent media is rising.
That will slowly shift. But even in big media corporations, like, I have friends that work for Fox, and they just, like, Fox has this rep for being, like, very Republican and, like, conservative and having this, like, opposite view of, like, liberal belief and stuff. And, like, the people that I know that work for Fox aren't that at all. Like, they're like very, like, great people and like clear-minded, and
they're caught up in the
and they're
machine,
like the,
you know.
Well, and they're like where I see it is, like, she's
it's improvement.
They're like the youth of
it's the next generation. It's the next generation moving in. Right?
It's like, you know, that it could be a slow movement to it, but I don't think that, like, our news channels need to be fighting each other. We should just share in, like legitimate like knowledge that's not necessarily biased, but
great conversation.
But, like, if I as Fox am able to focus on, like, intently on a certain segment of the news and look at it unbiasedly, then CNN and, you know, MSNBC and MSN, like, all these NBC, they can all focus on, like, different aspects of the news and report, like, unbiasedly on all of them, and we'll get, like, more accurate news.
I mean, shit, bro. Think about, like,
this. Our attention could be swayed towards, like, knowledge and not fighting within ourselves for power or profit. Like, it's just weird.
No, I mean, it's really a civil duty when you think about it, the news and just, like, kind of reporting, because people rely on it. Yeah. It's like it's really, really tough because it's like battling between, again, stories.
Yeah.
Storytelling. It's that human nature of storytelling. We have a need to tell story. We need to know what's going on. We need to know our story. We need to know how it's developing. We need to know where this is going. Right? And reporters, politicians, they're writing those stories.
Right. It's us.
But we're seeing, like you said, this new kind of writing, this new kind of language. Just people talking. Just people.
Yeah, we're just people.
Just people.
That ass. We are just people.
And at the end of the day,
we're just home.
And we all are. And I think it would be amazing if a lot of stuff just kind of got boiled down to, like, simple, just people having discussions, like, about, like, just shit, you know? Yeah. And kind of just hashing it out. And, like, the more the better, man. Like, fuck. like, fuck it. Well, like, we need to know, like, I want to know what people are feeling in the world. I want to know, like, how everybody's doing. And, like, I want to be sure my friends and my family and all my homies are fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to sit down and fucking be able to go deep and be able to talk about life and literally growing up throughout one of the craziest fucking time periods in human history.
I tried to explain to my mom the other day. I think it might have been both of my parents, but I've talked about it a few times. It's hard to say if I could talk about one specific moment, but basically,
right.
The idea is that, like, I don't know, it's weird for me. It might be weird for others. Sure. You know, like when when you grow up and a teacher says, "I like teaching. I like teaching people," and I catch on to some weird things like this. It's like,
right.
Don't be afraid to ask a question, because if you have that question, there's a good chance someone else probably has the same question, in the room. So just ask it, because if you have a question, it's going to help everybody just with a little bit more.
I never ask questions.
Yeah. See, I'm a big fan of I'll get involved as fuck in a class. I
was so scared in school, man.
And
I'm always fighting that. I'm fighting that shit, man.
I forget what I was talking about just before that. But
Sorry. You were talking about teaching, being a teacher, and how teachers usually, they're going to be like, don't be afraid to ask a question.
Yeah, I can dig into that rabbit hole for sure. But I thought there was a correlation before that, but I lost that.
No, well, what I was saying was, I struggled fucking hard with that shit in school, man.
Yeah,
I was so reserved. And I think a lot of people out there are. I mean, usually, at least in my classrooms, there was always generally like the select few that kind of raise their hands and answer questions.
I don't know what it is.
It's scary to put yourself out there in front of people, I think, in a classroom setting.
I don't know at what point I felt this way. I couldn't put it on a specific moment, but at some point in my schooling, I realized that the teachers were not like authoritative, cruel, demanding beings. And
wait. Authoritative what?
Cruel, demanding beings.
You didn't think that they were that?
At some point, I realized that, like, initially I think most people feel like they are, and that's how I felt like when I was a child. But once at some point, and I think it may have been,
I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah, but for me, I forget when it happened, but eventually I had my experience and knowledge for it had shifted in the light of these people are like just people, like they're just us.
Right.
Like, and it was early for me. Like, it was like,
you realized that like early.
Probably middle school, at least.
Right. I did not realize it that early. I did not realize it until probably late in high school.
All through high school, and like,
you realized it really early. Wow.
And like college, wow. I just was so engaged because I had no like fear of.
That's amazing.
Like why would I not ask a question? Because if I was wondering about something, I wanted to talk to someone who I thought knew more than I did about it, and that was the person standing in front of me saying that, hey, I'm here to be here and I know more about it than you. And it's like, I wanted to listen, I wanted to be there, and I wanted to engage, and I felt like I didn't really care at all about what other people thought about what I had to ask, because I kind of ultimately came back to me thinking like, whatever I say, someone here might also feel the same way, and if they do, they might be afraid to say something. So I'm just gonna say it because I really don't care. I just want to know.
I want everyone that has ever been afraid to ask a question in classroom to replay what Jake just said right there, because what I'm about to say to you is real. I struggled insanely fucking hard in school to engage. And I think this is a fucking real problem.
It is.
Okay? what Jake just said, I want you to replay it. I want you to skip back 30, 15 seconds, whatever it is now, replay it and listen to it again if you are struggling to ask questions, because this is me, people. This is fucking me. I did not ask a single fucking question, usually, unless I was really connected to the teacher. Very rare occasion, even if I was connected to the teacher, I was extremely scared to pose questions in class just in front of people. And I struggled with standing up and giving, classroom speeches, anything in front of people. It was just hard for me. It's just hard for me to get up in front of people physically and speak, even if it's just a question. Mm-hmm. But I think one of my biggest regrets, and I'll have you know I'm freshly out of college. Okay. And I realize this now. Is that I did not ask enough questions. And if I could, like you just said, there would be so many, there's so many beautiful and amazing discussions and educating facts and amazing people that are in front of you trying their best, their absolute best to give you what they know and transform you into a person that is going to have a well-rounded vision of the world.
9 times out of 10, if you talk about college professors, this stat, don't stat me on this. I'm just saying out of personal experience. 9 times out of 10, it
bullshit
feels like
stats.
Yeah, bullshit stats here.
But
quote me. 9 times out of 10, it seems to me like college professors, they're like, you don't just, I don't know. For me, I don't feel like a college professor is someone that just is like, I'm going to be a college professor. Fuck it. Like, I got my master's, yada, yada. I'm going to take a slack. For me, I see a college professor as someone who's like, I want to teach and inform, like, the youth about, like, the subject that I'm passionate about, Mm-hmm. So I attribute a high rate of like honor and like respect to someone who has that mentality, because like you legitimately want to transfer your knowledge to the youth so that like
in the best way that
yeah, and like it's because that like without that transfer of knowledge in whatever craft it is that you're doing that in, which is a lot of things, which is again back to storytelling, which is like this is something that like is a inert human thing for us. It's like a desire that it just happens because it's so natural in us that like that
it's how we live.
Yeah, it's so important. And like don't ever be, like you can't ever be ashamed of that, it's like
no. Yeah. And I mean,
who it's fucking awesome learning how to do new stuff and
man,
always applying yourself. It's just,
I feel like it should be a constant pursuit for every human. I mean,
and it's not necessarily to achieve anything. It's like just sometimes it just feels right to use your mind. And
I don't mean to be a fucking Debbie Downer, okay? Because I love what you're fucking saying, dude. I fucking love it, dude. Like, what you're saying is incredibly real, incredibly real and powerful, and I agree with it all 100%. Because I believe all humans need to have passions. You need to have passions. You need to have love for what you do. Even if you don't like your job that much, like, it's so awesome to fucking learn new shit, like you said, and.
Dude, that's the thing about shitty jobs.
Like I was gonna say, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but nowadays it's so fucking hard, I think, for people to, get that motivation with all these fucking screens in front of us.
Yeah, how can we fix the?
Is
it a problem with the screens? Is it?
I don't know if it's this. I mean, I
don't think it is. It's something that's within us, not within an external thing. I think that we're able to. Yeah. We okay.
I mean, I guess I always like. I guess I always want people to get outside. I guess and get a breath of fresh air is what I meant by that. And I always want people to like.
Yeah. Be healthy.
go explore the world, and like I feel like getting outside and just like going for a walk. Basically, I feel like a lot of your passions can be found in the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the passions that you do find in the outside world can be transitioned into the world that we're kind of interfacing right now with, like the digital world and like the screens and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I've kind of always had kind of a negative outlook on, well, not negative, I guess, but whoa. Heads up. Sorry for that, guys.
I was trying to move the mic and it.
Yeah. Oh, be really careful with that, yo. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. There we go. Is this plugged in all the way?
Yeah.
Give it a check.
Yeah. Check.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
For those of you who don't know, clap means this is how we line up the audio.
Yeah.
Because
pretty much. We bum fucking out.
Bump.
But
yeah,
anyways. Yeah, man. I just want people to get outside. That's all I'm about.
No, getting outside's important.
Yeah. No, man, but yeah, passions are important. I mean, I like what you just said back there. I feel like those are really true words. They were really true words, and they really spoke to me. I mean, and a lot of the stuff with the education, I mean, I know that you're incredibly connected to teaching and sharing information, and, you know, especially with your artistic work. I mean, I know how connected you are to that, and I mean, with what I was saying before in terms of just my own experiences through like college and shit. And if for anyone, I guess we could have referenced this before, but me and Jake went to the same school. We've grown up together if you've listened to the other pods, you probably know this, but we've basically grown up together. We're brothers at this point, but we met in college, went to the same college and shit. So had a lot of the same experiences, but we're in different departments. But yeah, man, I wish, you know, one of those biggest regrets was not asking enough questions, and I'm trying to continue kind of that academic conversation as well with kind of these things too, because I think it's important to like, I think it's important to kind of fall back on like a lot of the like research you did in those days and stuff, and a lot of the work you put in those 4 years, because like, it does mean a lot, and like it's just like a lot of work culminated into 4 years, and like you can, yeah, like you said, it's incredibly valuable. And you know, like college is just one thing too. Like nowadays,
you don't need it.
Exactly.
You don't need it.
It's very powerful, but in all reality, it's all within yourself. It's all within yourself, and all of the tools are right in front of you.
I think school, I think public, private, charter, college, university, wherever you are in the entire, you know, world, like, it's a useful tool. It's a system. It works. It's pretty good at what it does for the most part. But there are flaws. And to say that someone must abide by the system that is in front of it, or that it won't succeed, is kind of like illogical. It's like, that's not necessarily true. Like, you don't need school. But if you don't have school and you have nothing else, school's a lot better of an option for you than no school.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, you know, it's not necessarily that it's bad. It just has its pitfalls, and there's going to be change to that, and it's going to happen, and slowly we're going to change into the next thing that we think is right. And it's just like, ultimately, again, back full circle, is like the passage of knowledge, the passage of stories, the passage of experience is the invaluable truth. How it's done, if it's done, you know, that's subject to change. But the ultimate truth is that, like, if humanity ever loses the ability to do so, we're fucked. And guess what happens if all of our information is stored on the internet and there's no more passage of knowledge being done in physical person form? And for some reason, all of that data goes poop, fuck, gone, burnt. Well, now there's no more passage of knowledge between humans, even if humans are still around. If that,
like an apocalyptic event.
let's say you get to a point where there's 80 billion humans on planet Earth and everyone's tapped into a neural network. Okay, let's say the neural network shuts down. Okay.
Keep going.
Let's say the neural network shuts down. Well, there's no more people there. There's no more people who know how to actually get up into a classroom and teach people. There's no functional schools for those people to go to. So it's like everything starts to kind of fall apart when you no longer have the substance of an actual setting of a school, because if everything switches to something that ends up becoming remote, like when humans stop being able to communicate stories between each other and pass knowledge between each other from human to human, like me sitting here showing you, hey, if you take a ruler and you go like this on the edge of the table and say 2 inches and you make a mark, then you know that that's 2 inches. If my physical body's not able to understand that, and all I'm used to is being like wired into something that I'm unable to do that anymore, it's like that's a drastic loss. Like, you could be really set. The whole culture could crumble off of something so simple as like wiping a storage bank.
And that's a really scary thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that worries everyone.
I hope we never become dependent on the thing that we're creating. I hope that the thing that we're creating helps us, but I hope that we don't become dependent on it.
Yeah,
for survival.
And absolutely. I mean, I've absolutely thought of that, and I mean, we have to think of that being this age, because we're going to see that play out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we are going to see this technology evolve into something that we don't yet know, and hopefully that it does play out, you know, in terms of being able to protect it. You know, you're talking about truth, you're talking about identity, you're talking about preserving truth and preserving the human, the human spirit within these technologies and within, you know, kind of this mainframe that we're fucking plugging into. And it is fucking a terrifying concept. I completely fucking agree. It's fucking madness. But we are here and we're fucking living in it.
There's going to be benefits. There's going to be drawbacks. There's not.
I think at this point, it's kind of like...
There's really not ever one without the other, you know?
Right. I think at this point, it's more or less like we're going until it stops. You know what I mean? It's like we're on this train, and...
People call that fate.
People call that fate?
It's fate.
Exactly. And, you know, and if someday it does shut down, then it shuts down, and we hit the reset button.
Yeah.
But until that day, we'll work. And we'll use this amazing platform and this amazing, like, space to create things that...
To share with one another.
That can tell stories and that can...
Well, we're here to tell stories.
And that can pass down.
We're here to talk.
Right.
We're here to talk for people.
And just chill. And fucking have bro time, you know?
No. It's like, that's why anyone would be here, is just to listen to a conversation, because, you know, sometimes you're in solitude all day and you just aren't around people, but maybe you're a person that wants to listen to some people talk, because, like, you fuck with it, you know?
Right. I mean, it's nice
to have that and just pick through whatever you want, and, like, here, you know, you got two guys just chatting about life and just wild stuff.
Fucking where we are. I mean, I think it's wildly underrated, to be honest, because and
it shows us how easy it is to see, like, we're all the same.
Well, and it might seem so fucking simple. And guys, I mean, and when we're talking right here, we're talking to fucking no one. No one's fucking listening to this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, basically at this point right now, like in terms of where this is hitting in terms of view count and everything, which is perfect.
Doesn't matter.
But
Yeah.
it's one of the you have to acknowledge it though, because it's one of the most important things in terms of like,
unlike our memory, this lasts.
Space. Yeah, right. And that's what was like so crucial.
You have to see through time and understand that, like, you know, there might not be people there, but if they ever are, at least they feel like
right. And that's what I was just about to bring to you, man. It's not like, it's like this conversation is kind of just on an infinite type of timeline.
It could be anywhere. Anyone at any time could listen to it.
Which is one of the most craziest concepts, right?
Right. And so what happens if all that goes away? Because bye-bye. No more information recorded anywhere.
You got to understand.
How does that happen?
We got the most badass nerds on the planet
keeping us safe,
working on this shit 24/7, 365 days a year. You got to understand, like, there are people in this world that care more about data on the internet than their own lives. You know what I mean?
Dude, anyone that calls someone a nerd in a derogatory term, fuck them.
Anyone fuck them for real.
I don't know.
That's a compliment, bro. For me, that's a fucking compliment.
Like,
definitely.
if you're into fucking computer shit, dude, all respect and power to you.
That shit's difficult, bro. That shit is difficult.
It's like
the whole other sphere.
A whole other thing. Like, it's
fuck if I know some coding. That shit's tough. If you can code, if you're a developer, if you're fucking doing anything with IT, if you're fucking
anything you do,
right?
It's anything. It really is anything.
It really is anything. But
I hate when we bash on each other for what we do, because it's like,
well, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I'm just specifically referencing like the computer science shit. It is like wildly crazy.
It's amazing.
The shit those guys do.
It's incredible.
But to your point, anything that anyone does is beautiful, and it matters. It does. Like,
no, it just doesn't end up. Yeah, it ends up affecting something somewhere.
Something somewhere.
Usually pretty quick if it's drastic enough. Like,
right. And it's that collective knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of conversation, it's leading me to something interesting. This NFT shit.
Mm.
Because I think what you're talking about with this, like, identity, this truth, all this shit, like, all this blockchain stuff, it does kind of, like, it really seems like, you know, obviously I'm fucking wildly into this shit, but you and specifically, man, you got to get into this NFT shit, man. You would absolutely fucking go ape shit over this.
Probably, but I don't.
Because
I've never been.
It's something that you would connect to. I feel like it's community, you know. It's the people behind, and for people that, you know, NFTs, JPEGs, you can screenshot them, whatever. No. If you are interested in digital art, anything digital art, and you're interested in becoming your own kind of self and artist and producing your own stuff, like, get into NFTs and shit. I haven't done the deep dive yet, but, like, I think my friend Jake here, being the type of artist that he is, would, you know, be kind of, it would be somewhat of a perfect story for you, man. I mean,
could be fun.
It could be a lot of fun, dude. It's a lot of fun. And
the last time I had a good idea,
I
did it, and it turned out amazing.
What was the idea?
And no one really knew about it because it was like a local thing. And then, like, some guy that I followed on Instagram, who was, like, famous in the field that I did it in, did the exact same thing I did, and people were giving him, like, they're like, damn, this is so cool. I was like, nice, I did that 6 months ago.
No shit.
But no one knew because I just was at my college, you know, doing my thing.
Right. That's wild.
So that was wild. I was like,
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like having the right idea at the right time in the right spot, because a lot of people, you could have the same great idea as somebody, but you know. Anyway, I'm worried about NFTs and like the validity of it, and just
dude, it's secure.
Like rug pulls fuck.
Well,
with
do you
me,
want me?
Do
you want me to explain it?
I just don't get. I've never been someone that gambles.
It's not.
I don't like gambling. I don't like risking.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about you.
I'm
talking about you creating.
I know, but like initially risking upfront costs to like supplement the potential.
It doesn't cost too much. It doesn't cost too much at all, brother.
Creating art's a whole different field. Like I'd love to create stuff, but I just don't like gambling my profits on things, and that's what leads me
with NFTs.
Just with anything, I don't like to put bets on anything ever. Like
sure.
I just don't. I don't like betting or gambling.
No, I don't either. I don't bet at all.
Like playing the odds in like a situation that you're going through. Like, should I, go this direction or this direction? That's a different thing for me.
Right,
but
right.
like gambling, like monetary value or money, or just like.
Oh no, I've never gambled in my life.
But going on the stock market, that's gambling. Going on. NFTs where the prices vary and you could get a rug pull and you lose all your money, or someone wants to put $150 into
absolutely everything's
a game,
speculative.
and then all of a sudden they have no money because people ran off, and it's just like
it's the market.
That's
man.
a gamble. You put up your money against the potential risk of someone just stealing it, and like that's or you just tanking because someone stole it. And
let me tell you something. If you were to put an NFT collection on the blockchain, it wouldn't be able to be stolen. That's impossible unless for some reason you're being a buffoon with your keys and you're sharing your keys. But you're just any common-minded person who's getting into this kind of stuff is going to be safe with their keys, not your keys, not your crypto. That is one of the.
I could probably.
If you the point is, if you're putting an artistic collection on a blockchain, it cannot be stolen and it cannot be copied.
Well,
it can be screenshotted and plagiarized, which is fucking bullshit. And if you do that, you're a piece of fucking trash. If you take people's art and you fucking plagiarize it, you're a piece of shit and go to hell. Okay? Like, honestly. But if it's a non-fungible token, right? I mean, it is hard to explain. I'm not a crazy nerd at this shit. But the point is, do your own research, right? I mean, yes, these things are sketchy. Yes, these things are gambles. But what I was getting at apart from the gambling side and the market side, don't even think about I'm not talking about price. I'm not talking about dollars. I'm not talking about bubbles. I'm not talking about rug pulls. I'm talking about art, right?
Well, back to that then. I have probably a bunch of stuff that there's like series. Dude,
I think you could fucking get into this shit, man.
I have series of photographs that are all like.
Well, even bro, your ceramics, bro. Your ceramics,
yeah, but that's like physical work. You almost can't NFT like 3-dimensional objects.
Yes, you can.
I don't. How?
Dude,
it doesn't make sense.
3D I'm telling you, bro, these engines out here, these 3D graphic modeling engines are insane now.
Yeah,
the user interface, you can take a picture and you can model it 3-dimensionally.
And someone could have that cup in a 3-dimensional space, like a metaverse type of space or something.
Mean, it's all kind of
that's where I'm confused. Like, where's the value in a 3-dimensional object in a 2-dimensional space being bought and sold? It's like, I almost see only value in the 2-dimensional at this point.
Well,
that's where
people are seeing value in terms of a lot of what NFT projects are is the people behind them, right?
Yes.
it's art. Okay,
and I feel like online 2-dimensional sells better than 3-dimensional.
What you can do with these are an emerging technology. Yes, it's very rudimentary at this point, but essentially, kind of what these lead into, it's kind of like a piece of art that lives on the internet securely on a blockchain that is modifiable. It has properties. It has traits. It can be put into different spaces within different areas of games, or within a house, or within a gallery. It can be appearing on a screen in a city. You know, it's something. I get what you're saying with the 2D thing, and this is what I struggled with for a long time.
Where's the 3-dimensionality come into it? I can't see it.
The 3-dimensional now is within, right? Yeah, it's 2D, but VR is here, right?
So you have to have a 3D model of whatever you're selling.
You're talking about VR. You want to see VR, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about wanting something more immersive. And this is what a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would just be another thing.
I get the value thing and like the whole real world and like the physical value of it. But
I'm afraid of I'm just afraid of virtual reality replacing reality and
yeah, it's scary shit. I
don't think it will, because I think people are smarter than that.
I mean,
I have faith that people are smarter than that.
But I mean, going back to all this shit, man. I mean, obviously it's all like wooey shit, but it obviously there's a lot of like shit around it, and I think a lot of people get misled by it, which is very unfortunate. Because what really does matter is just the people behind it, and I think it's just, kind of just another medium where you can kind of create things. It's really nothing crazy. Yeah, sure, it can get assigned some value, but who the fuck cares about that in all reality? I mean, you can assign it whatever fucking value you want. At the end of the day, I mean, you're just posting another picture, right? The difference with it is just the fact that it's kind of like a technological baby piece of art. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with these things, and it's just kind of going to be cool to like see how they can evolve, and like how different pieces of art can kind of be interwoven with reality and digital reality. It's going to be fucking crazy,
Yeah, I have a lot of really cool series of like art, like of photographs that I would like to.
Your senior project was fucking insane, man, with those glass pieces.
Yeah. See, I want to feed like
kind of like it was like oil almost.
Yeah,
right?
I could almost do like all of those images, not just the ones that I selected as.
Those are fucking beautiful, man.
Because each one's beautiful in a different way. Like they're just I just picked the ones that I thought were like striking to me, but the value of all of them are incredible, and there's thousands of those pictures, and also like I have thousands of like pictures of just like series of things where I'll take like series, and it just like those collectives could be fed even into like AI systems where like the AI then interprets those different series and creates like new things that have never existed based on interpreting the information from each individual photograph at a pixelated level, and like what would come out of that, and would it be indistinguishable or different, better or worse than the original, or like I feel like who knows, maybe you could litter one of those into a set of them, and would it even go check as, probably, I would think it would, because
Into what?
I have a hard time believing that if you fed even 1 million photographs of a series of things into an AI, if it would be able to recreate something that's
immersive,
that's like new and
unique,
and as like, there's certain things that play on everything in reality, and it's like us humans are innately capable of like looking at something and being like, that's not right. Something about that doesn't feel right, And that's especially true in things that aren't like, we know when a circle's not perfect. Why? I don't know. No one really knows why. Like when you look at a circle, you can tell if it's a perfect circle or you can tell if it's not. And it's like
fucking weird.
It's like, so if something's off about
natural
something,
symmetry.
It's missing. It's missing some level of input that is like human, or or like recognizable to us. And I wonder if AI is ever going to get to that point where it's able to create just nonstop things that are undistinguishably like different from reality, or like similar to reality. There's got to be like a point where it can't.
Right.
Like it can't do the spontaneous randomization that like our brains are capable of, and understanding that, and I'm excited to see when that happens, because like when that does happen, it's gonna be like, whoa, hopping into an immersive AR or VR like space could be so captivating that it literally is like, it becomes your life, to the point where like its reality is far more enjoyable and you're happier in it than the reality that is real. And like that's where like societal shift happens, and you run into that issue where like people start feeling more security in that situation, and it leads down pathways that like,
very dystopian.
It's just
very dystopian.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. What I was just thinking about when you were when you were talking there. I mean, it was. I think people being connected to their roots is going to become so valuable. People being able to, whether. And me and you are the type who really value this physical world and kind of the spaces that we live in. I mean, we kind of proved that today and just all the shit that we were doing, just moving around. I mean, god damn it, we spent so much time just kind of literally doing interior design. I mean, you and me literally, we get into that shit. Like we vibe with that shit. We test out different stuff. And we value the physical world like a lot more than I think.
Never be afraid to do. Definitely never be afraid to think, but also sometimes, idealistically, I always think like no harm, no foul, man. Like if you're not harming someone else's life, or harming someone else's experience or your experience. Like, for instance, building a shoe rack is something that doesn't,
which you want to do,
that doesn't harm your experience, my experience, Luna's experience, Carmen's experience, Cole's experience. It doesn't affect.
We're building a shoe rack for the crib.
It doesn't affect anybody in a negative way at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's
constructive.
It makes sense to do something like that. And guess what? If you fail, well, you're no better off than you were before you started. Right. You're no further behind.
I'm
you
sure
didn't have a shoe rack either way. And secondly, like, you've learned so much from that failure that, like, maybe you'll have the courage to do it again right the second time and make it work. And then you're that far ahead. Or you don't end up doing it because it seems like too hard of a challenge after you've tried and failed once. And at least then you know that, like, it's much harder to do than you think. So going into it a second time, you have that knowledge. So there's quite literally no harm, and you will only gain from the situation from trying, whether or not you fail or not, because nothing and no one is harmed by the action of trying to do something so mundane, but seemingly like, what? But why wouldn't I buy it? It's like, well, maybe try building it and like.
Yeah, man.
You could probably figure it out.
Back to that construction.
Doesn't fucking matter. Like, you figure it out. Like, I don't know.
Well, and it's just about. I think this is what I've been missing too a lot, is just working with my hands. You know, yeah. It's fucking nice. It's incredibly refreshing. And being able to, literally anything kind of productive with your body in some way is
satisfying as fuck.
You really can't explain it. Yeah. Like there's a word for it, satisfying, right? But there's something more.
Yeah, it's definitely more.
There's these things in life.
Reassuring, satisfying. It's a lot of things.
There's these things in life where
it's a multitude of
there's something more, and working with your hands is one of them. I think
making an
storytelling is another one of them.
Making an impact on others is one of those most, I think, like.
Do you want me to fill up your drink? You want another drink?
I might go grab a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to cut this short or take a break, but.
No, we can let's keep it rolling. You want to do
it? If you want, sure.
Yeah, dude. We can.
Could we pause it and cut back in?
Yeah. Let's. Here's what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna heat something up.
Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna do the thing, and load up my drink.
Oh yeah.
And then load up your drink.
Oh, okay.
We're drinking some gin tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I'm just gonna rant here, just to keep it rolling.
Go for it, dude. You're tired, dude. Okay. Paul was talking about earlier, and man, we've been talking about this.
What?
Okay, let me explain something.
What, is this the deep?
No.
Oh, that's not
I'm just I somehow am tired a lot.
You are. Are you exhausted right now?
Yeah, but I go through this thing where like I'll feel exhausted and I'll snap back into it.
Yeah, you sound exhausted, bro.
Yeah,
you sound exhausted.
I am.
This is what I'm saying. This is why. Yeah.
So cozy. But anyway, the thing is like with sleeping.
I'm gonna check and make sure this is still rolling, but you keep going, sir. You keep going about that sleeping. Because you have some knowledge about sleeping.
Yeah, there's honestly some. I don't know if it's a trick I do or what, but I don't
get it.
I could sleep.
I don't get it, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's like.
Counterintuitive?
Well, see, I find myself like thinking a lot at night. And like
I feel that. I
like
think it's
my
shit
mind
always
is racing.
Always racing at night.
But then like if you start to forget about time and like the passage of time, you kind of like can slowly adjust to like the speed that you're moving through it. And like slow it down a little bit.
When you're sleeping?
Like before you go to sleep, you can kind of like slow time down a little bit and like.
You got some mad serious powers or
what?
Superpowers, bro. Sorry.
No, it's just.
I was gonna say sleeping superpowers.
You got some mad superpowers.
You got superpowers, bro.
But anyway, yeah. So like, you can kind of isolate like the rate at which your time is passing when you're falling asleep and kind of like get on a rhythm with it. And what I do is count down from 100 and just like.
Do you want to keep going while I do the?
Yeah, I'll just say this quick dose. Like I can't remember the last time I hit 100 counting down or hit 0.
Really?
Down. Yeah.
Okay, so you do a countdown.
It's
so
bizarre.
You do a countdown method.
Not always. Just if I'm having a hard time falling asleep.
Okay.
Most of the time, again, and this goes back.
Did you look up this technique, or
no? This is just
something you developed?
This is just kind of something I just through trial and error. But basically, like what
100.
Well, it derives. There's a lot of things in life that like are weird, quirky things that I've always done, and one of the things is like. So like when I'm awake, I try to like be active and be like engaged. I don't like taking naps. I like to like fully engage in everything I do from by the time I'm in my shower in the morning or whatever until I'm like going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that like wears me out. Like I use that as a tool to learn, but also as a tool to like use my body's energy so that I can sleep, because I see the value in sleep. So I need to exert myself enough to make myself tired. Otherwise, I'm not going to be tired, which will give me a bad night's sleep. So I usually try to overexert myself every day just to like have some fatigue going into bed.
Right.
I don't like just laying in bed all day.
No, 100%.
Like
I mean,
and then I can't sleep, and it fucks me up.
Yeah,
So
100%.
And if I don't exert enough of my energy, I most of the time won't go
Dude,
to bed.
that's so important, bro.
Like
you got to move your body. You got to fucking.
I'll stay up late just to like, and it's like now I get to a point where I'm always like, yep, okay, now like my body's telling me it's ready. And I listen to it. I listen to the way my body like says it's time to sleep. And if it's like
it's not that time yet, right, bro?
If it's alert and it's like
we're not at the time yet, right? We're not gonna cut this short, are we?
No, I mean you get into waves, and it's to do with the liquor too. The liquor will put you in a wave, but
the gin, yeah.
Yeah, but the point is like you gotta listen to like what your body's saying, and
100%. I struggle with fuck.
You gotta flow with the way your body is talking to you, and like if I'm not tired, I don't like hound myself or say like it's time to go to bed. Like I just kind of let my thoughts drift and bounce, and then finally like an end point for me would be counting down from 100 to 100, 99, 97. You should just time it on your beats of your breath. And then one thing that you can do too is one thing that I always do if it's the morning, literally any time of day where I'm feeling like any sort of discomfort. Is quite literally just focus solely on my breathing and how I'm breathing, and like in breaths, out breaths, like how my muscles are moving in that breath. Like isolating that will center your existence. Like here, it'll make you feel more present because you're able to focus on specific singular moments happening in the now, which will help like deteriorate focus on things that aren't, which is like anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
And so
100%. That's crazy. I never even thought of like that shit.
Yeah,
before.
like focus.
If you can use that breath and that.
Using your breath
that
is a really good centering thing. But back to like the sleeping thing, it's like I would always think like
even day to day,
like love sleep. Allow yourself to sleep. Make it so that you're in control of what you're doing the next day, and like you're in control of your sleep. Don't let what you're doing the next day affect how you're going to manage your sleep. Like take ownership in it. Like I got to work at 8, take ownership in like the fact that like you're going to want to sleep in a little bit. So like think about like giving yourself time and like really just evaluating.
I don't do that enough. Yeah.
Like how are you going to manage that
very
time?
Important. Very important.
And listen to like I know that I like
very
when I have to work
words.
at 9, let's say I have to work at 10. I need to make sure that I'm out of my bed and hopping in the shower by 20 minutes. It's all time management. Life is time management. Time management is one of those things that's unwritten and under the table. But like time management is crucial, and like got to be up by 9:20. Well, it doesn't mean that I have to adjust like what I'm doing the night before. I could do whatever I want. I need to adjust how I effectively manage the time that I'm giving myself to achieve however I want to feel in the future. So it's like if I'm out with friends and partying until 2 a.m. and I'm getting drunk and I got to work tomorrow at 9, I know that tomorrow's going to suck, and I've weighed that value on it. And it's like I've taken the time to consciously like always think about my sleep to the point where like it becomes unconscious. And that's where it's like
it's
nice.
Incredible
You're in like a cruising zone because it takes time to get to that point, but you have to always think about like,
yeah, that's serious.
Like
man.
what does sleep mean to you? Don't you love when you wake up and you're tired? Like, isn't there something?
I don't do it enough.
Like
I wish I did it more.
The feeling of waking up tired and falling back asleep and then waking up again is like an undescribable feeling. It's there's like that. There's a weird value in that, and it's like.
Here, you keep going, okay?
Yeah, I guess.
You rant. I'm gonna fill up.
I can do that because I was gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you wanna get that?
Yeah. Talk about sleep.
Yeah. I need to talk about my own issues with fucking sleep because what you're saying here is true words. I mean, like I can relate. Well, the problem is I can't relate to it because, and I think this might be a story for a lot of other people out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's hard to fucking manage that sleep, and you don't think about it. I mean, I don't think about it as much as I should, and it's something that affects, like you said, it affects the future, it affects your outlook, it affects everything you do.
One thing I've noticed is that you can never really be, like, you can be late for things, and they make, drastic impact, but, like, I feel like a lot of people see being, like, a few minutes behind as like a detrimental thing, and that like most experiences in life that you go through, like if you're a few minutes behind on whatever it is you're doing, whoever it is you're meeting with and whatever it is you're doing, it can wait a few minutes.
Right.
I mean, really it can wait a few days. Like there are people that are pressed on to do stuff and it's like, we need this by Monday, and it's like Friday night and they're like, now they have to work 20 hours over the weekend to finish some project that like you just need to have by Monday. It's like, I get the desire for fast production in humanity, but like, we just need to, like, humans need time to just not do that. And like, sleeping is one of those things that like explains why we need that, because like, we couldn't survive as humans without sleep. Like, we have to have full in like brain power into what we're doing, but then we also need that time to like accept that like we just need the rest, and like it's so important not to lose that that the sight in that, and like the realization in that. Like, you cannot have people that just go. Society will collapse. Like we have to have sleep. It's a yin yang type of relationship, much like money things in the world.
Right.
And, a lot of things have to do with the problems that a lot of people go through based on, like, expectations that are put on them by whatever it is that their, like, job is requiring them to be doing a certain thing at the time that they think that it is reasonable.
Wow.
Why do you have to work at 9? Because other people are working at 9. What if you work better from noon to 9 instead of 9 through 4? What if you're a more productive human because you just tend to stay up later? And it's not necessarily that like that's wrong. It's that like that's just who you are, because we're all different.
Right.
And why should that necessarily make a difference? Like, I think all people should be able to work when they choose, if that's a capable option. I don't see the problem in that. Like a 24-hour society.
Right. And I mean, it's true. It's everybody's different. I mean, that's probably one of the weirdest fundamental things about the shit that people do day to day is, being required in a lot of work situations to, abstain to that 9 to 5, which, it's proven to work over time, but, maybe we're in a different time now where
you just don't know.
It's tough for some people,
Get your drink.
Yeah, for sure. Get that fucking loaded up. But yeah, I mean, I've struggled with sleeping and fucking all that shit. It's always difficult for me. I mean, like we were talking about in the beginning of the pod. I mean, when you got a cat that jumps up on you at 6:30, it can be tough. But like Jake was saying, Jake was saying some true words right there. It's I think it's a very underlooked value of life is sleep. And it's underlooked, obviously, because you're unconscious while you do it. I mean, a lot of people just don't think about that shit because you're unconscious. But it's I think it's being brought up in day-to-day shit more often now. I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of the importance of it. Like Jake was saying, I mean, it's something that's affecting your future. It's something that's affecting your mindset. It's something that's affecting your decision making. At the end of the day, when you sleep, your brain contemplates everything you did that day, subconsciously and shit. You're going through the motions. You're going through that life cycle of putting yourself to rest. And without that, the body is lost, right? It's when I wake up and I need to work and I got to get shit done. And if I haven't slept well, I'm going to feel it. And no matter how much coffee I drink or whatever, by the end of the day, it's always in my head like, God damn it, because I didn't get that extra hour last night or whatever. I'm feeling it now and I'm paying the price now. And yeah, I mean, we've been talking about improvement this whole time, and that's just another asset of life that everyone can kind of probably put a little bit more focus to, And it doesn't even really have to be something that you put like a lot of even effort into. It's just like turning off your phone at the end of the day, or like, just taking down that screen time. Fucking just not looking at a screen, fucking shutting that shit off half hour, 20 minutes before. It's just settling down. But I think we've been talking about a lot of good shit in this one. I mean, what I love about the stuff that Jake has to say is that a lot of it is, as you guys can tell, I mean, I think I'm a very different I've got very different like life habits than he does, but at the same time, like, we also have a lot of the same ones, which is fucking weird. We can kind of like bounce ideas off each other in a way that we see both sides very easily, and it makes for easy ass conversations like this shit. And yeah, this kid's fucking moving in here, which is dope, because we're going to be able to, sit down and do this shit more often. And the fact that he's moving in here, I mean, it speaks to the reality of this, this friendship, and the history that we've been talking about here in terms of what we've done in our lives and our experiences, and the choices we've made within our own lives to wind up where we are now, talking to you guys here. So it's it is fate when you really think about it. Connecting back to all that fucking shit we were talking about beforehand. But yeah, it is beautiful thinking about what this man has fucking done. For myself personally in my life. I mean, it is not to get all sappy and shit, but I mean, it is the truth, and I ain't afraid to say the truth. I mean, and that's kind of like the shit that I really find kind of most intriguing and fascinating about like my own friendships and a lot of like these guys is just the ability to do this type of shit and talk about really anything in any way that we can, and try and bring something that is valuable, try and bring something that we can both connect to and reflect on, because I think this is powerful. I mean, when you really think about it, Like, what do you do all day? Might go to a job, wake up, go to a job, fucking, make your food, watch your TV, do your thing, and peace out, do it again, wait for the weekend and shit. But being able to open up a space like this and allow for a form of not only entertainment, but self-improvement, storytelling, and just, looking towards the future, trying to form something into the future that, you may not know what it is, but it's good, right? Going into every podcast, we don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about. We just talk, right? It's something that you just create. It's the form of art. It's the language of creation. It's just life. And yeah, all this shit is these are fucking weird ass concepts on a late Friday night, but it is what it is. We're just having fun with this shit.
You ever seen both of this?
What do you got there, buddy?
What?
What do you got there, buddy?
I found some ramen.
Yeah. This man Jake, man, he keeps eating on the pod.
Sorry.
Eating on the pod. Can't get enough of them munchies, can you, brother?
It's just food. Oh. I can't eat. I'm not allowed to eat.
No, you can eat for sure.
I'm not allowed to eat. There's just other stuff.
I mean, you can eat.
I know. It's okay. It's probably too hot anyway.
Fuck off.
I don't fucking eat hot foods, dude. I don't get it. People are crazy.
Oh my god.
Don't get me wrong. Spicy foods, delicious. Hot foods, fuck hot foods.
Like hot. Like
hot and spicy are different. I'm adamant about that.
Okay.
People think that they're the same. They're not.
Ooh. Do we have controversial opinions in here?
Yeah, big time. Hot is different than spicy, period. Hot is temperature. Spicy is like a metric of tolerance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah. No, yeah. Hot and spicy are definitely different because hot is measure of heat. Spicy is a measure of like tang and like fucking like pop. All right.
Yeah. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this is literally 100 degrees. I don't want to eat it because it's gonna burn my mouth because it's too hot.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say because it's too spicy.
Right.
But if it had a Reaper pepper in it, you'd be like, I'm fucked. It's too spicy. It's not too hot. And it, worst case scenario, it's too hot and spicy. And then you're like, okay, ice cube, maybe less pepper. I don't know. But there's a difference.
Either way.
And it also can come down to like, I think that almost spice is like an olfactory thing. It happens in your nose. Mm-hmm. And then there's like, I find that there's two different kinds of spicy. Like people say horseradish is spicy. People say habaneros are spicy. They're different kinds of spicy. Like horseradish and wasabi are like olfactory spicy. Like they hit your nose and that's what makes it feel hot and spicy, but it's not. It's like you find that your mouth doesn't actually get hot. It's just like your nose scent being tricked into feeling a sense of spice, but it's just an overload of like, the horseradish or the wasabi. Whereas like a habanero pepper with seeds or a Reaper pepper, really like a Reaper is fucking like that seed is actually spicy. That holds spice and that makes the spice gland in your tongue go nuts, not just like a trick. So like, it's funny because at one point I was eating sushi and it just dawned on me. I was like, this isn't hot. Like this is just like my body like feels like it's hot, but it's not. It's just like a strong scent to my nose that makes me feel like it's spicy. It's weird.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, the senses are weird.
Ginger's kind of like that too. Some people think ginger's great and they'll fucking like drink it.
Mm-hmm.
literally eat it up. I'm like, nah, I just don't like it. It just feels weird. And that's because of like a nose thing, not like the ginger. There's nothing wrong with the ginger.
Right.
Just my nose recepts it differently.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I'll go away from the mic.
Yeah, senses are fucking trippy. It's always it's always been weird how like people can like kind of describe their own senses and describe what they like in their own senses. It's kind of a interesting.
Goes back to human nature because we are we are a species that is we observe. We are observers.
Right.
It's because that's all we have. I mean, like we had senses.
Mm.
We had 5 senses. We've had 5 senses
Forever.
for as long as we can remember.
No, yeah.
There's maybe a point where we only had 4, but from when we had 5, we developed consciousness, and from past that point, we've always had 5 senses.
It's kind of cool though how like
we're able to interpret the world in ways that nothing else can.
It's kind of fucking weird how everybody just likes different shit in food and drinks and whatever. And it's
strange how we have different interpretations of things,
right?
And our own opinions on
whether
everything.
whether you can explain it through your upbringing, where just the food you ate when you were a kid, or I don't know. I mean I really don't know what kind of explains that stuff, but it's just kind of a interesting thought experiment. How like every person kind of. It's like what the fuck? It is truly like everybody is unique. It's everybody can say they like a lot of people say they like spicy foods, but it's those people that like spicy foods, they're gonna like different types of spicy foods,
right?
And people that like vanilla ice cream, they might like want they might want some shit on that vanilla ice cream, or like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird how fucking people.
I like vanilla bean ice cream with, let's say 4 or 5 scoops of vanilla bean ice cream.
Oh yeah,
in a bowl.
Vanilla bean. So what's the difference between vanilla bean and just vanilla?
I don't really know, but I know the vanilla bean has like these little like black specks on it that kind of. I feel like every once in a while they're kind of like crunchy. I don't know, they're good.
Yeah, I don't know what it does to it. It makes it like a little bit more nuttier, I guess.
They just blend in vanilla beans.
Yeah, weird.
It doesn't have like
just
nuts,
more vanilla.
It's just like tiny little. Yeah, it has like a different taste a little bit. But anyway, vanilla bean or vanilla. But
before, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take a piss, man.
All right, go ahead.
Can you rant?
I might just sit here and eat soup or noodles, but
okay, all right.
I'll rant.
You can describe the noodles.
That'd be fire.
Food ASMR. Noodles ASMR.
I could give them foot ASMR. Wait.
No, not foot ASMR.
Noodles. I thought you said foot ASMR.
Noodle ASMR.
For anyone that knows,
No comment.
Noodles ASMR coming up next with Jake.
All right, no ASMR on this channel. That's gonna be a disclosure. At least not when
would be a good time.
When I'm in the room.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Just pluck around, play around with
it. The noodles.
What if I just go around describing things in the room?
I mean, you could talk about all the shit we fucking moved today. Like we fucking. All the shit we tried today just got me fucked up, man.
Are you doing that?
Cool. Yeah, I'll come back.
Damn, these noodles are spicy. I'm not sure who got the noodles, but they are delicious. They're either Paul or Cole's. Praise the Lord. To have a relationship with people that you genuinely respect, and they respect you as much back as you respect them, is so genuine. And with Paul and Cole, and with a lot of my close friends, but specifically with these guys, which is why it's so nice to moving in with them is that we respect each other so much that we never have doubt with one another. We always see the opportunity for good fortune to come from any decision that we make based on how we treat one another. And like, it's a loving, sharing, kind relationship between people. And I think that like that is so important for the well-being of all of us, and that we need that. We need to be able to live amongst one another, with one another, for one another. There has to be a desire for that. Without that, we lose sight in like who we are as humans. And I think fundamentally, like, we all need to start learning how to love and respect each other more, and see the value in the experiences that the other person has lived. There's a lot to be said about, in my opinion, the fact that if we all lived in each other's shoes, I think we would all somewhat find ourselves living in that same reality that the person is within. And the only thing that we bring to the table in terms of an argument of, well, I would do that differently, in terms of a response or reaction to a decision that person has made in their life, comes solely based on your confirmation bias by your own reality. So if you were just born into that person, that their soul and your soul and my soul and Paul's soul and all of our souls wouldn't have also made the same decisions that they made in the distinctive moment that they did. And that I like to think that, you know, we all make decisions that like, I laugh about this because it's hard for me to really say this definitively. I can't say this definitively, but to think that we all make individual decisions on a daily basis that are our own is special. I find it highly unrealistic, and if anything, so real that it's like the chaos is an unsolvable thing. Kind of like not necessarily knowing where the end of infinity is. It's like one of those tricks in math where I live my whole life, you know, let's give benefit of the doubt and say I lived 100 years old, like, and so does Paul. That's 200 years of our lives. God, I didn't get to live 200 years. He didn't get to live 200 years, but I got to live my 100. He got to live his 100. So he has learned so much in that passage of time that I could never comprehend that. And I've learned so much in that time that he could never comprehend that. But together we could talk about it. And like, that's 200 years of experience shared between two people where we may not fully understand each other, but at least we've gotten a little bit more understanding than just our own experience and knowledge on this planet. So it's definitely important, I guess.
You want to take your break?
Yeah.
Well, I rant. You guys ready for my rant? You guys got a little Jake special there.
It started off slow about spicy noodles.
That's fucking awesome.
Fucking good though.
It's fucking fun to fucking talk about that shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking going off about some shit. I mean, I feel like it's honestly like a meditative process, this stuff. Mm-hmm. Highly underrated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's my smacking loud. Sorry.
Yeah, you're smacking fucking... You like not slurp.
Here, I'll show you what an actual bite sounds like. ASMR right here.
That's fucking disgusting. Okay, all right, that's enough. That's good. It's fucking gross, bro. It sounds disgusting in the mic.
Thank you very much. Be here every Tuesday night.
Dude, it sounds so raunchy.
It's so crisp.
It's so hear, like every bubble
coming. And I'm cracking up.
That's just funny. Yeah, you can do some wild sound effects with the shit.
So I don't quite really understand what the whole is ASMR, like basically audio porn for people. Is that all it is?
Well,
because like Brizo
audio. I actually don't know exactly what ASMR means.
I don't know what it stands for. I don't. Ted's girlfriend Bree was always saying about how it's like foot ASMR or something.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
I sent like a carpenter video and she said like carpenter AS. What'd she say? Some stupid shit like that.
So I think what it does,
it's like
I've
audio.
actually experienced this, bro.
It's like
because I've had this happen to me before. It's a relaxing. So this is just Google's definition, coined in 2010. Is a relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body, also known as a brain massage. It's triggered by placid sights and sounds such as whispers, accents, and crackles. So there's like
it's like meditative sound.
Have you ever had those? I don't know if you've had this, but for me, there has been some people. I can probably point to maybe 3 in my entire lifetime. Yeah. Like one of like, I don't know. I literally can't even remember who they are. But for some reason, the tone of their voice, like the pitch and the tone, was so perfect and like it was kind of had depth to it, and it created like that. Where it's like almost like a tingly. You ever get like goosebumps that's like on the back of your neck?
Yes, I have that.
It's like that.
I have that.
It's like that.
When I listen to music sometimes.
Right.
I have this experience where that happens.
I don't think that's ASMR though.
I think, but you don't think I might be getting that from the audio?
Is that ASMR? That probably is ASMR.
Since the sensation of the
autonomous.
I mean, it's not.
What is it?
Maybe it's not.
God, that's such a confusing.
Maybe it's not.
Autonomous sensory, relaxing, sedative, begins on the scalp, moves down the. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's probably tingly feeling. Yeah, that travels from the head downward. Some may experience certain sounds, feelings, or descriptions. Whispering, crinkling paper, a gentle touch. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I definitely recall either listening to, I don't know if it was maybe just a YouTube video of a guy talking or a teacher even in just, like, a moment. Like, I've definitely remembered those moments where it
sends chills down your spine.
Well, it's not only that. It's not only the chills, right? Because these are extremely vivid. These are extremely vivid. It's like a moment of time where you're almost like in a coma.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally like a sedative coma.
Have you ever done
through the tone of their voice?
Have you ever done
which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it never lasts that long.
No, it's like an instant thing.
It's kind of like an instantaneous like.
Maybe people are able to adapt to a longer duration of it or something.
Maybe, but when I've experienced it in real life, it's only been maybe like 3 or 4 times, and it was when I was very young. I have never experienced it since. It was probably when I was very young.
Have you ever done like self-induced, like not narcosis, but like. What's it called? Self-induced lucid dreaming.
I've tried.
Have you ever succeeded?
I think I've gotten close. I think I've maybe gotten on the edge of it.
Yeah.
Unintentionally a few times. No. I've had moments where I have felt like
if you've
paralyzed, kind of like where I'm like awake.
Unintentionally, you should try to intentionally because you'd be surprised that you can control it a little bit. But it's like
I've had fleeting moments where I'll like it's kind of close to morning, and like I do wake up, but my body is conked.
See, I've only ever been able to do it like self-induced, like while I'm trying to go to sleep, because like
interesting.
My mind has to like have a high attentive capability coming down from the day, but like immense like strain or fatigue. So it's like say you're like your body's exhausted from doing a ton of hard labor, but you're like mentally awake and you're having a hard time going to sleep. That's like a time where you could kind of self-induce
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you're in this state where like you're just highly susceptible to the feeling of it, and
your
like
brain's just like,
and it's like it's
a disconnect, right?
Yeah, it's not like scary, but it's sort of like
I mean, you're in control.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like asleep. It's just a delirious state of like of half asleepness. But you're kind of like more aware of it, and it's not. I mean, I suppose do
you see benefits?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with getting to know your body. Like,
right.
If anything you do in terms of that, like,
have you learned anything? Have you been able to like accomplish lucid dreaming?
Like minorly, yeah, but like enough that like I felt the power of like consciously being aware of yourself while not in control of your body.
Interesting.
Which is a weird state. That's the thing. Like it's a state that your mind's not ever in. You know,
it's almost like you're not in control. But
imagine it's what a person who's a paraplegic feels like every day. Like,
right.
But you can then put yourself in that position and understand like the value of what control you have over your body, and like that changes kind of how you see the world every day. So it's like there's some value in that, just in that hindsight of feeling like,
wow, yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm aware, but I can't do anything about this like sack I'm in. So like
you get to feel that
a little bit, which like you feel on shrooms if you do shrooms the right way. It's kind of a similar feeling. It's
right.
No, not necessarily. Like you obviously have control of your body, but like you're able to tap into some of that same level of like disassociativeness with yourself because you're able to focus a little bit more. So it's a similar feeling. It's like basically it's sensory deprivation, and I feel like if people use sensory deprivation tanks, that's achieving a similar effect where like you're depriving yourself from a main sensory intake that like you're so used to that when you take it away, that reality, you're able to focus on those different senses more. Like now I no longer have to feel hot or cold or just touch at all. I'm just floating in a salt tank. So like touch no longer is a sensation. So now my body is no longer trying to distribute attention to 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20% to 25 for the other four senses. So it's like you then start realizing more about what those other senses are interpreting because you're able to focus on it more. And that's pretty invaluable.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
So sleep deprivation in inducing it on your own is kind of a meditative practice where it allows you to do something like that. But like
that's fucking wild.
You just kind of have to play around with it. You can't like
right.
And that's again, just try. If you fail, well, you tried. Learn how to do it again another time. It's just like that constant.
And you never know the benefits, right? Until you fucking do it. Yeah.
It's like it's the way. It's just the way of doing.
This is the way.
The way, the Tao, yeah.
This is the way. The Mandalorian.
Oh my God, I gotta take a pee.
All right, do it. I'll rant. Rant time. Yeah, dude, you're a master sleeper, though.
Master sleeper.
Yeah, for real. It's something I wish I had the power to do. It's fucking. Yeah, like I was saying before. I mean, I've had a few of well, not the ASMR shit, but yeah, like this shit. I've been able to, kind of get into that. Like Jake was saying, it's been along the similar lines of usually when my body's extremely tired and my mind's just kind of racing. It's just kind of how it goes. And then you're up, but your body's just conked and yeah, you kind of get into a weird fucking place. It's, I don't know. It's kind of a different outlook on reality, right? Because you're completely aware of where you are, what's going on, but can't do anything about it. And I think that's kind of a metaphor on kind of like just everything that you kind of go through in this wild story that we call life, you know. A lot of fucking people just act on impulse and shit. I mean, I do. I usually just go by what my heart feels. And, you know, I do make fucking calculated decisions, but it's usually based on intuition. And I think a lot of people just act on intuition a lot of the times. But, yeah, that's valuable. And I think, you know, it's kind of a metaphor that, like, you just got to let go. A lot of the times in life, I think you just got to let go and kind of just go for something that you wouldn't have thought that you would go for, you know? Fucking experience something that you didn't think you could before. And that's what it's all about. I mean, you can't...
Patience.
Yeah. You can't be stagnant.
You gotta have patience, so...
Keep it moving.
You have to have patience.
Patience is key.
When people feel rushed, they make rash decisions. Rash decisions lead to... I don't know, I guess unpredictable futures, but...
Yeah.
Just, like, have patience. Have faith in yourself.
100%. It's important. I mean, everybody matters. You matter. It's at the end of the day, guys, we're all fucking here.
Mm-hmm.
We're fucking on this goddamn rock.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that cool?
Twirling around.
Dude, we're moving so fast. That's what I love to think about. We're moving
so fast. Just twirling the fuck around. So.
That's why I feel like speeding tickets. Fuck you. I'm going 17,000 miles an hour. Like, so who cares if I'm going 15 miles an hour more than the other guy? We're both going 17,000 miles an hour. This is relative. The speeding ticket's relative. Fuck off.
There's a reason I got this background. Keep us in check, people. Keep us in fucking check.
Gotta think about everything.
Keep us in check. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You can't forget the big picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, most of the times, short-term views obscure everything. It is very difficult to look long-term and kind of bring that holistic perspective. And I've been trying to, I do try and bring that in every single day. I look at this goddamn thing every single day. And, yeah, we're on this spinning rock, guys. We're circling a goddamn star that's probably going to burn out eventually. And who knows what's going to fucking happen. We're probably going to fucking implant our goddamn memories into some AI robots that are going to fly off into some weird-ass interdimensional universe that are going to, impregnate some other aliens with our human DNA, AI, cyborg.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just going off.
Oh, my God.
But...
Let me put you on something.
What I'm saying is that this shit matters, and I think having a holistic perspective matters. Taking the whole world into account, you know what I mean? Yeah. Forget the whole futuristic Futurama weird sci-fi shit. But
Paul,
yeah, I think
I want you to try something right now.
What? Try what?
Okay. I want you to tell me a list of your 5 senses.
Tell me a list.
Strongest to weakest.
How can I rate my senses from strongest to weakest?
I would say sight's probably my best, because I would say I receive most.
I don't understand how a sense can be better or stronger than another sense.
Based on what you rely on a day-to-day basis. So I rely on my sight heavily because I like use it to interpret information to understand what's going on around me and make decisions.
Okay, so you're saying value, the value I put on my thoughts.
Yeah. So just in a list 1 to 5. This is just the beginning of the thought experiment. It's not the thought experiment. Okay. So just whatever you think. It's not like a man call yo. Like for me, I would say probably here. I'll do me first if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say probably sight.
Same. Yeah.
1, most important. 2, feeling, touch. I guess.
Touch.
Physical awareness, touch, feeling. It's like the sense.
Wait, what are the 5? Okay, sight, smell, taste, hearing,
sound.
Hearing and sound is the same thing.
My bad. Sight, touch.
Sense.
Sense. You can't say sense.
Scent.
Yes.
Taste.
Scent. Taste. Hearing.
What are we missing?
We're not missing anything. Sight.
Sorry, I was running.
But you'll see. Okay. We got them all. I don't think we missed any.
Well, I'm counting 4.
I'm counting 5, but maybe it was 4. What are we missing? What are the 5 senses?
Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch.
Yeah, we got them. Yeah, that's what
I thought it was.
Okay.
Sight, sound, smell.
Anyway, so listen. So I would say sight,
hearing and sound. That's what fucked me out of it.
So I would say seeing 1.
Agreed.
Feeling 2. Sound 3. And then probably scent and then taste. I think I would rank taste last. So
taste last. Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting coming from you.
Well, I just put
that is very interesting.
The value of scent over taste is kind of because they're very related. So scent and taste are very related.
I would think you would put taste at least in the top 3.
See, but a lot of what taste is using scent. So like taste uses scent to interpret taste. If that makes sense. Like close your nose and take a drink of this water. You won't taste anything.
Not
you
a
know
chance.
What I'm saying? You have to open your nose to smell to be able to taste most things. So it's like that's why I place it higher. But anyway, my point is
I would probably go.
Take your list.
I would probably go. Yeah, sight for sure. Number 1.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do.
Touch number 2. I need to name my 5.
Yeah, my bad. Sight number 1. Touch number 2.
No, you know what? Sight number 1, sound number 2.
Okay.
I need hearing to be my number 2 because sight and hearing is absolutely critical.
Right.
Touch number 3, and yeah, you're right. Probably. Number 4, smell. 5, taste. I feel like taste would probably be the least crucial of them all in terms of like a survival scenario.
Right.
Because like
you need, smell is going to be helpful.
You're going to be able to smell like toxins and like shit.
It's valuable.
If you don't have smell, you're fucked.
Okay, so now time for the thought experiment. You ready?
So the only thing that we were different on was.
Or number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Or number 2.
What's your thought experiment?
Well, okay, so this is what you do. This is kind of a long way of getting at to explain this really easy meditative thing that I do, that I've been doing, that someone taught me for a couple of years, and it's been life-changing. And it was, at least for me in that time, and it helped me through a lot. It's helped me through a lot in recent, history and stuff. But okay, you've got your list.
Mm-hmm.
So now number 1 becomes 5 things, 4, so on, 4 things, or 2, 4 things, 3 things. So I want you to look at 5 things. Use your eyes and say out loud. You could say it to yourself in your head if you want. This is how I do it to myself.
Okay.
Say it to yourself in your head, but for this experiment, we'll say it out loud.
Okay.
Because I'll walk you through it.
Sure.
So look at 5 things. Evaluate 5. All of these things are evaluate, interpret, and vocally say what it is that you're evaluating and interpreting. So,
is this the first step of the thought experiment?
Yeah.
Okay.
So cite. So cite 5 things.
Speaker, light, candle, cell phone, tapestry.
Okay. So the next thing that you said was important to you was sound. So close your eyes, take away your sight, take your headphones off, and talking in the mic, and list 4 sounds that you hear, distinct sounds, isolated specific sounds.
Distinct sounds that I hear right now.
Mm-hmm.
4 sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the cars on the street outside slowly passing by. I hear Jake's breath. I hear a slow beep coming from somewhere, probably the computer. And I think I hear a slight flicker of a candle. It's very slight.
Damn.
All right, that's 4.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so what was your third one? Smell? Or no, what was your third one? Touch. Touch. Okay, close your eyes.
Touch. Okay.
What are 3 things that you can feel?
3 things that I can
And it doesn't
feel.
have to be objects. It could just be feel. Like, what do you feel? What are 3 things that you feel?
Anything. Anything that I can think of.
But just whatever you feel, man. Anything.
Okay.
Just right now. Like, what do you feel? Do you feel?
I feel the cold glass on my fingers filled with ice. I feel the warmth of being inside. Wow. Outside it's very cold. I feel loved.
Interesting.
Okay, those are my 3.
So now, was taste your last or was smell your last? Taste was your last, right?
Taste was my last. Smell was my 4th.
So 2 things right now that you can smell. Focus. I don't know. What can you smell?
Oh man, I need to focus. There's so many things in this room. That's the problem.
It is your second to last favorite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it makes it a little easier on you.
Well,
than reverse, because reverse is impossible, I feel like sometimes.
Okay. Well,
just 2 things that you smell. You can feel like you smell. You definitely find them. You'll find them.
I mean, I definitely smell the candle, right? I smell the scented candle. The candle is. I can't tell right now. It's been burning too long. I'm too used to it at this point, but it's some sort of nice, kind of like sugary, crisp smell. And the other smell. The other smell that I smell. I mean, there's not many smells. That's the problem. I really only smell the candle at this point, but the only other smell that I would be smelling would be the cranberry juice within our drinks.
That's pretty good. That's nice. The cranberry juice.
Which is also related to taste.
Right, but see, you found that. Yeah. And then that's the last one. Taste, just one. You just have to, what's one taste that you can taste right now? You just taste cranberry.
Which is,
reliant on the smell, which you came up with before. So that, if you ever feel like, oh, man, something feels weird. I don't feel like.
That was a crazy thought experiment.
I don't feel like grounded. Do that with yourself. You know, do the reverse 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method with your own senses, And
that
like
was wild, bro. I
like,
feel like
it relinquishes fear and anxiety and doubt for me of the future and puts me into the now, and I feel like I'm present because I've evaluated and interpreted and appreciated all of those different things that are happening right now where you are right
I felt
now.
so present while I was saying that. I felt like so present.
I feel like you're just more focused on yourself and where you are. It's like very relaxing.
I felt very present. That was very relaxing.
I'm glad you liked it.
I haven't done something like that in a while, to be honest. I mean, my mother is really into that type of stuff. But that
Mike Nancy, woo.
yeah, for real though. Shout out
Nancy. Not Pelosi. Paul's mom, Nancy.
Yeah.
Different lady.
God. Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean that shit was nice, man. I mean, yeah, I definitely felt there isn't much shit in this room. That's the only problem. But I was still like I was going. The point was though. Point was though. I think that was the point.
Right.
Was to like go deep. Right?
Yeah, it's to find like.
It's to go deep. Yeah.
Not just the obvious, but like feel like each sense and find something new in it. It's like that's really cool.
I think my third feeling was crazy. Like I felt when I said I felt loved.
Yeah, I know, because it's not like a touch. You used it as a touch, but it's not like physical. Felt like it's more like
that was like
feeling, like an embrace, like a presence. Like love is almost like a presence, like magnetism is an invisible force. Like what? Like love is also an invisible force. You know?
Right. Well, right.
To an extent, like it's within our consciousness, but who's to say it's not as powerful or meaningful as something like,
or as present as like it can be in everyday life,
right?
Or in every moment. I mean, and it is true. I mean, when you have good friends and family, man, you're fucking loved. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
And fucking when you can, you can share spaces like this. Fucking, I don't know, like in that moment right there when when I got like that deep right there. You know what I mean? Like I was searching for what else I could feel. Obviously, I could feel a desk.
Yeah.
I felt the cup.
Yeah, and you were going to say desk, cup, glass. Like that's
well, number one was the cup because I was initially holding it. And it was right there.
But you realized quickly that you felt more. You felt more than just the
more.
cup.
It was more.
It felt like more. Because you were observing it specifically on isolated terms. You were able to see that it felt like more than that.
Right.
That's kind of, I think, where it shines and like.
And the warmth. I felt the warmth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something to reflect on right there. Excuse me.
You're excused. You are excused, sire. Body on chop back to the cabin, sir.
You are excused, sir.
Back in the chap. Get back in the chap, sir.
Get back in the bloody chap.
The Marines are coming. Get back in the chap, sir.
Anyways.
Sorry. Roleplay. Weird British, like, fight scene in the streets of downtown Buckingham. And
thinking like some Sherlock Holmes type shit?
Chatty-o, chop mine. Get back in the fucking chap.
Not bad.
No, you got.
I mean, not bad.
Get in the fucking chat.
I can't do a British accent that well.
You just accents again. You'll probably fuck it up. You almost can never not fuck it up.
Cheerio. That's what I mean. Anyways.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, good sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Hey, Luna.
So, do you ever make music? Do you ever write songs or just make music within yourself?
I wish.
Like
while
you're
think about beats.
Like while you're listening to songs, do you ever just like freestyle and like make your own shit on it? I do that sometimes when I'm singing a song. I just like get into it and just start making my own stuff on it. Vocally, because like I don't know, and just like in my imagination I have to like visualize and think about the sounds of whatever it is I'm like. So like if I imagine myself playing a blues guitar riff on like a lo-fi hip-hop beat and I'm like singing to it, I just kind of like imagine I'm doing it. But I'll sing too because just fuck it.
Fuck fun. Yeah, dude,
it's fun. It's
sometimes
weird. It's like just it's fun.
Sometimes I'll have it's actually kind of strange. Sometimes I will have moments where specific chords and tunes, beats, will just kind of like pop up into my head. I don't know when those really moments occur because they are very rare.
They're seemingly random.
I'm not a DJ by any means. I'm not a producer. If I did this on the daily, obviously that'd be happening a lot more. Right. But I think it just does bow to the fact that humans are so in tune with music, and we do like kind of naturally kind of think about melodies and tunes and things we like and what melodies we like, and our brains
sound I think is powerful.
Our brains play with that.
Sound frequency specifically is powerful.
It's incredibly powerful.
The frequency of sound waves is powerful. I think that it could be utilized in a lot of things, ways that we don't even understand.
It stimulates the body.
I mean, it's just I feel like it's a insane. Powerful force that
that fucking nuts.
We don't quite understand, but we like sort of mentally grasp the idea of enjoying it.
Here's Luna, guys.
Luna.
Hey, Luna. This is my cat.
She could not spend 2 hours without hanging out with us.
She's been sleeping for a while.
She's been on naps today. Luna hopped on me last night and was like, time for bed, and she just started snoring. So it's like, all right, I guess you're sleeping here. Snores McGee.
Her eyes are fucking just like going up right now. Cats are so funny, bro.
She, I think, is the only, I mean, don't get me wrong, Carmi will love this kind of pet under the chin. Oh, I think all cats like under the chin. Maybe not, but at least all the cats I know like under the chin. But Luna is like,
she gets after it.
She's 100% committed to an under the chin scratch every time. No matter what time it is, you get this full on scratch my chin. She's no games. You can go forever and she doesn't care.
Yep.
Like she's never had enough of the under the chin scratch. That's all she ever wants. Look at that. I mean,
you guys are getting great. If you guys are just listening right now,
that
check out the YouTube video.
That and the funniest thing is she gonna look this way? Come on, look this way. See if the camera can pick it up. When you scratch her butt, she'll start sticking her tongue out.
Oh yeah, scratch her right here.
Yeah, she's
right back here.
Yeah, she'll start sticking her tongue out. It's the goofiest thing. Stick it out.
Yeah, watch. Oh, good. No, she's not doing it.
She said, fuck you. And I won't let you.
Cats are funny. Yeah, I'm excited. Get Carmi in here. They're going to be friends.
They'll be vibing. They'll be sissing.
They'll be good friends.
They are quite literally almost twins. It's kind of crazy, the fact that they're so similar.
They do look... I mean, she's a lot. She has more of a base white...
Carmi's more white.
Carmi has more of a base white. Luna has more of a black overtone. But yeah, both calico.
Yes.
Both fucking. I didn't know Carmi was 10. I thought she was a bit younger.
No.
She's
either 9 or 10. I think she's 10. Pretty sure she's 10.
Okay.
Because I got her when she was 9. It's been a year.
Damn.
So it's been over it yet, you know?
Cats look fucking old, though.
Yeah. Carmen's the shit.
Mm-hmm.
She's wise. She's stuck in her ways in terms of personality, but she's grown a lot, definitely. She's grown a lot.
Right.
She's, like, become a lot more calm.
Yeah.
There's just few things you gotta learn about her.
Damn, she's rubbing at the fucking cables.
Cats will find anything that they can rub against, and they'll rub against that.
For real.
I think... Did you know that when a cat...
Well, that's how they spread their scent, right? I mean, their scent glands are, like, right in their forehead. I'm pretty sure cat scent glands are, like, right on top of their... they have some scent glands right in their forehead or something.
That could be.
Mm-hmm.
If you go like this really light, Carmen will sit there all day.
Really?
Yeah. And then if she wants you to stop... That's the thing you gotta get used to. She'll, like, go to bite you to say stop, but it's never more than that. And if it is, you just, like... be like, settle the fuck down. You just say, like, stop. Just stand there and be like, what are you doing? And just give her attention. And she'll be like, what? And she'll be like, stop. And she'll stop. But for the most part, if you're petting her and giving her attention and she, like, does something like to bite, she doesn't have claws. She can't be like, stop. So she'll, like, kind of go like that and just be like, stop. And then you just kind of stop. And that's her personality. It's weird. And then 2 minutes later,
cats have like
2 minutes later, she'll be like wanting to pet. It's weird. It's like, so you just kind of, if she snaps a little, I just let her snap.
Cats have like crazy different personalities.
Mm-hmm. They're so different.
Crazy different.
Very different. I mean, all animals are, but cats specifically are strangely unique. They're not. There's no two cats that have acted the same that I've ever been around. They're like all so different mentally.
Right.
How they handle.
I mean, this is Luna's first showing in the podcast, and look how she's handling it.
She's great. She's
like a fucking pro. She's fucking laid up here, like a goddamn beach babe.
Yeah.
Doing her thing.
A goddamn beach babe. Is that all she is to you, Paul?
Oh, God. No, I love her dearly.
You hear that, Luna? You're a goddamn beach babe. Oh, you got the chin. Look at the chin. She loves the chin. I'm telling you, look at this. 100% effort every time from any position with this cat on the chin scratch. It's like, it's a no-fail with Luna.
Every
you ever meet
fucking
Luna
time.
going for what do you call it? Chin scratch? Lin scratch? Chin scratch.
Chin scratch.
And if you're feeling spicy, give her butt a scratch and see if she sticks her tongue out.
Oh. You ready?
Usually you kind of have to dig in a little. Just like.
I think she's too focused on shit right now. She's like, what's going on?
She's very confused.
A lot of shit's happened today. I mean, we've moved the whole fucking apartment around. Yes, we have. We changed up a lot of stuff. Fucking getting you in here, buddy. Man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, so I'm thinking fucking this shit. Oh. I'm thinking this shit could probably go in my room.
That stuff?
Like it could probably fit in that, like, by the window.
Yeah. So
our thinking, guys, is probably like transitioning maybe in and out between me and Jake's room, depending on what we want to do here.
We gotta kind of just evaluate this.
It'll probably still be set up within this studio for the next week or two, with nothing going on in here until you get in your bed in here, basically, after Christmas. So just another week, I guess. Man, this year is closing out, bro. Can you believe how fucking fast this shit has gone, man?
No, it just flew by.
To be honest, this shit, like, I don't get it.
Oh, look at this kid. She's gay. Oh man. Absolute cat heaven.
Fucking crazy.
Alright, Luna, get on the table.
She was fucking loving that.
Dude, they love it.
Yeah, dude, I fucking can't believe how fucking fast this shit gone by, though. I mean, I keep thinking back to what was going on a year ago. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, a lot of shit has changed, but I guess a lot of shit hasn't. But we're gonna we're gonna keep trucking. I mean, we got shit going on. I'm excited though. I think being able to balance between kind of in there and in here, switching between the two, depending.
For the podcast?
Yeah, for Stu. I mean,
yeah, this is just the table. It's pretty nice.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's small.
Yeah. You can really make it. I mean, the idea is what's important.
Yeah, and
the scenery is. I mean, that's something, but it's the
people.
It's the concept. It's the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
They're equal importance, but they're just
does matter. But it'll be cool. I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Change. I don't think it changed the conversation at all. And if
anything,
it does,
I think it will though. I think it will.
It will impact
because I mean, that's what we were saying last night. At least, I mean, being able to. Oh God, nope, can't have you up here, baby.
Luna pulled the critical sin that a cat can pull, and that's stepping on the laptop while recording. So.
That's a no-go. Folks. Can't have the cat up there. No, God, take it down.
For some reason, no matter how many times you tell a cat, they just don't understand that, hey, don't step on the laptop.
Right.
It means the keys, it doesn't know you're a cat.
It's a bad omen. It's a bad omen.
There should be like cat safe modes on laptops where it can sense the pressure of a cat specifically.
Just turn the keyboard off completely.
You could put your cat breed in and it would know the size and weight, and it would sync it so that if something with that dispersion of weight stepped on the key, it wouldn't go off. I don't know.
That's wild. That's wild. I don't know what to say. That's fucking wild, bro. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Get into some
cat proof.
Huh?
Cat proofing laptop.
Patent it.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think that's possible. Maybe.
You could just hit a button.
Hey, Sharks, I'm coming at you today with a $5 million evaluation. I would like to sell you the software of cat proofing any laptop. Oh, nice.
A1.
What value does did you see that?
Probably been done.
Did you see the video? The cat was biting the edge of the laptop and its tooth cracked the LCD, and this whole screen just went like psh, into like fuzz.
What?
Yeah, it was just like kind of biting on the edge of the screen, and the girl was like, "Stop!"
And it eventually just pinched into it.
Its mouth just the tooth just like punctured the glass on the outside enough.
Did it get electrocuted?
No, it just damaged the LCD screen, and where it did it, like every pixel afterwards, like got fucked. So it was like the whole screen just went off.
Oh God! The cat was fine though.
Oh yeah, the cat was fine.
That's good.
Yeah, it was just geeked because it was like just something that seemed so
just like a little tiny little hole, and it fucked up the entire screen basically.
Imagine a tooth of a cat is a pretty sharp little point. That's like
right, but it's really tiny.
And with enough jaw pressure, like it could. You know, it could just and the screen would
go right through a screen. Yeah.
It was pretty funny. It was a funny
Interesting fact, my cat only has like 3 or 4 teeth. Or I should say she has like 4 or 5. But she had like stage 4 dental disease. Had to get I basically adopted her 2 years ago. But before I adopted her, they had to go in there and like remove all of her fucking teeth, which is crazy. But she's fine. I mean, like it's not too uncommon. It does happen, like here and there with cats. She's just younger. It happened way earlier than it would happen with most other cats. But she can still like swallow, kibble, and obviously eat stuff, and she gets along fine, just like any other cat. But I don't know. Interesting fact for anybody that didn't know. But it is kind of funny that she does have like one kind of big incisor or like kind of tooth
in
the front, which is just like her one, but she gets along fine. She's a trooper. I love her. Yeah, dude. Let's fucking wrap this shit up, though, man.
I'm down.
I think we hit our mark. I think we're fucking. Yeah. I think we cleared out this area with a good salute.
We'll talk, yeah.
You know, enter the. Just
on to change
just
forward.
This time, and I mean, like, forward. we might not get another one in here, folks, till like 2022. I mean, it's December 18th right now. 1:40 in the morning. Still going strong. So, fucking, yeah. We're going to fucking have a good new year. We're going to keep producing. Yeah. We're going to, I mean, I feel like next year should be about creation.
Yeah.
Next year needs to be about pursuit and creation. And, like,
yeah,
putting down the metal.
There's a lot.
Putting down the,
there's just a lot.
Putting down the gas pedal.
Every day is just a whole new day.
Right.
Full of potential. So,
right.
You know, you just got to get after it.
Hell yeah, dude.
And never, feel like your time was wasted because if you feel
every day is a gift, for sure.
If you feel like your time was wasted, it probably was. So do something that makes it feel like the time's not wasted because you'll appreciate that in the long run more than you would just doing whatever the fuck you're doing and not being happy.
Fuck yeah, brother. I fucking love you, dog.
Yeah, you too. All right, fuck peace.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace out, phone. Fam.
Nighty-night.
Night.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.